If you're trying to buy a property with a budget under, say, $750,000, you've probably felt completely locked out of Australia's big cities. But what if I told you the game is actually changing? In this explainer, we're going to dive into a strategic guide to find those high-growth properties, not in the crazy hot capital city markets, but in the exact places savvy buyers are now looking. So let's get right into it. It's the question on everyone's mind, right? For so many of us, that dream of a house with a bit of a backyard feels more distant than ever. And that frustration is real. But the market is going through this massive shift that's creating brand new opportunities for people who know where to look. So first up, let's just acknowledge that feeling of being priced out. It's not in your head. It's a stark reality, and it's driven by some truly eye-watering prices in our biggest cities. We have to understand this problem before we can even begin to find the solution. $1.49 million. Just let that number sink in for a second. That is the median house price in Sydney projected for 2025. It's an absolutely staggering figure that tells you everything you need to know about why so many people are being forced to look for other options. And hey, this isn't just a Sydney story. You look at Melbourne, you look at Brisbane. Yeah, the prices are lower, but a budget under $750K still pushes a standalone house to its absolute limit, if not beyond. For a huge number of Australians, owning a home in a capital city is becoming, well, mathematically impossible. Okay, so with those crazy prices as the backdrop, we are now seeing a major turning point, a fundamental structural shift in how people are buying property. This isn't just a trend, it's a revelation, and it's creating these incredible new pockets of opportunity. And look, this isn't just a theory. Market analysis is confirming it with language this strong. Just listen to those keywords, profound and structural. That tells you this isn't some temporary blip. It's not about interest rates or a fleeting pandemic trend. This is a fundamental rewiring of the entire Australian property market. So what's actually behind this great shift? Well, it's kind of like a perfect storm of three things. Number one, the insane affordability pressure we just talked about is literally pushing people out. Number two, people are actively chasing lifestyle upgrades. They want more space, a better community. And number three, the massive rise of hybrid work has freed millions from that daily commute, giving them the freedom to prioritize lifestyle over postcode. Okay, so if people are moving, the big question is, where are they going? Let's pivot to the solution and look at the hard evidence, the high-growth regions that are directly benefiting from this massive population shift. This is where the real opportunities are. Southeast Queensland is the poster child for this. It has all the ingredients for explosive growth. We're talking massive government investment in infrastructure, a booming job market, and a population that's projected to hit 6 million by 2046. That's exactly why corridors like Logan and Ipswich are becoming such hotspots. They offer that affordability right on the doorstep of a booming Brisbane. And you see a really similar story playing out down in Victoria. Melbourne's Western Growth Corridor is one of the fastest growing regions in the entire country. And what's fascinating here is the government is basically underwriting this growth with huge projects like the new Melton Hospital and major rail upgrades. This isn't just hope, it's growth being built on a foundation of concrete and steel. And you can bet young families are flocking there. And this chart, wow, it really paints a picture, doesn't it? Based on modeling of past trends, Brisbane is forecast to see a jaw-dropping 68% price growth over the next 5 years. That's even outpacing Sydney. That momentum is a direct result of the population shifts and infrastructure spending we've been talking about. The smart money is clearly flowing north. So we've nailed down where to look. Now, let's get into the what. See, it's not enough to just buy in a growth corridor. You need a clear, actionable plan for the kind of property you buy. This is the blueprint for success. So, I want to introduce a really powerful concept, the foundational home. This isn't just about buying a house to live in. Think of it more like acquiring a strategic asset. It's the first crucial piece in a long-term wealth creation plan, designed from day one to build your equity and give you options down the track. It's a total game changer. So what makes a great foundational home? Well, it really comes down to these three core pillars. First, affordability with headroom. That means only using 60 to 80% of your borrowing capacity so you're not stretched and you stay flexible. Second, it has to have strong owner-occupier appeal because they make up 70% of the market and they're the ones who drive long-term value. And third, there's got to be clear potential to add value, whether that's a simple paint job or room for an extension later on. All right, we've covered the where and the what. Now for the final piece of the puzzle. And honestly, this is the secret sauce. This is the pro tip that separates a good investment from a truly great one. It's all about moving from the big picture down to the crucial details on the ground. This, right here, is the million-dollar question. Because once you've found a great suburb, your work has only just begun. The real value, the real outperformance, is found by going one level deeper. And here is the absolute key takeaway. Suburb-level data is just a starting point. That median price for a whole suburb can hide huge differences from one street to the next. True outperformance, the real gold, is found by analyzing the micro-pocket, the specific street, its unique feel, and all its hidden pros and cons. So think of this as your cheat sheet for when you're out there on the ground. On the look-for side, your green flags are streets with lots of owner-occupiers. That usually means well-kept homes. North-facing blocks are a huge win. And then on the avoid side, you've got the absolute deal breakers. Flood zones, big ugly power lines, and even just streets with a bad local reputation. Those things can absolutely kill your growth. Okay, let's bring it all together into a final action plan. This is your due diligence checklist. First, you've got to dive into those council maps and check for risks like flooding. Second, get in the car, drive the streets, and get a feel for the place. Third, always look for that value add potential. And finally, prioritize a quality build, ideally with that north-facing aspect. This is how you find a real gem. All the evidence suggests a new phase of the property market is already kicking off, and it's being driven by affordability and these huge population shifts. So the question is no longer if you can afford to buy, it's whether you're looking in the right places, where the real growth is actually happening right now.